Hello nieces, hello nephews, it's your Uncle Charles here and welcome back to my YouTube channel where we do unbiased price action analysis. And the SPY giving us a bounce, a nice bounce yesterday. Had a very nice trading day. Uncle was not here. I had some family business to take care of with my son. But yeah, after a green day yesterday, it was a red day because Monday closed lower than last Friday. But intraday it was a very nice trading day, but after managing to defend that 384 level, that's a 78.6 fib level from December high to February high, SPY managed to gap up today. You can see this candle where we found selling pressure and buying pressure. Okay, this yellow candle is the neckline of the head and shoulder pattern that I have, and this white trend line is the yearly trend line that I have from January 2022 high. So yeah, big decision day tomorrow. CPI came in today as expected. However, the fun's not over yet. Tomorrow we have PPI, inflation for the producers. Okay, expectation is 5.4%. All right, so we'll see if it's higher or lower for the producers, but usually whatever inflation is for the producers, it'll trickle down to us, the consumers. That's the idea here. So tomorrow, after we get some more information, some more data, 8:30 tomorrow is the release for PPI, maybe we'll get a more decisive move from the SPY. Okay, right now we're trying to decide, the SPY is trying to decide, is it going to give us more of a rally? Is this a legitimate low? Or is this just a dead cat bounce? And we're about to head down lower. Okay? Now, I can't tell you or give you an accurate prediction because I can't see the future. But what I can give you are the levels and the setups so that we can trade it unbiasedly in real time. So let's prepare. Now, this is the 15-minute chart, okay? The SPY today opened at 390.5, okay, which made first support at 390 and first resistance I had at 391.4. Okay, 391.4 is the 61.8 fib level that I have on the daily chart. Okay, and SPY opened up bouncing off of 390 as support after clearing it in pre-market. Okay, this is right here is when we had the CPI release and the market bounced. At market open, 390 was treated as support, and at the 10 o'clock candle, that's when we had our first setup. I looked to long when resistant clears. So that candle right here on the 15-minute candle closed above my 391.4 resistant level. That for me was that it cleared that level intraday. Okay, so as you can see here, that's where it continued to bounce and it hit the next resistant level at 393 to 393.5 zone. Okay, now that level was based on the yellow trend line. Okay, that's the neckline of the head and shoulder pattern as well as the 200 daily moving average. So it was a very critical zone. And it got very interesting there because, you know, we never want to call a top, but we do need evidence on when to play a reversal. When's the best time to play a reversal? When we get the false breakout on all the false breakdown setups. Okay? Now you can see here at the 11:15 candle, the close of this candle was 393.6 cents. And I mentioned to the group on Discord that, hey, 393 is cleared on the 15-minute chart, but I need to see 393.5 clear for me to trust calls or trust more upside. But watch for the breakdown of that as support. We get a false breakout. Okay? And you guys can see here, we got that false breakout. Okay? False breakout right there on that candle. That's a terrible arrow. And from there, it just continued dropping, taking down support levels, going as low as 387. All right? And then end of day squeeze at the end of day right there. Okay? So, you know, that's when I look for calls. When a resistant clears on the 15-minute chart. That's when I look for puts. When a support level breaks on the 15-minute chart. Does it always work? No. That's why, we need risk management. We need to respect our stop loss. And we need to not trade with our egos. Okay? Now let's get to the daily chart. Okay? We are, SPY right now is giving us that chop stuck between two critical levels, and you can see where the sell pressure came from and where the buy pressure came from. All right, so it's going to be quite simple. PPI coming tomorrow. Hopefully that can serve as a catalyst, whether it goes up or go down. I challenge you guys and encourage you guys to trade this unbiasedly. All right, today SPY managed to recapture that yearly trend line after breaking it down last Friday. Treated that yearly trend line as support, and it managed to close above the 61.8 fib level today. All right, so above 391.4, it recaptured and cleared that level. Now, the bull case scenario to show follow through to the upside, it needs to pop above 393.5. That is the first resistance level, critical resistance level that needs to clear, with 395, and then the next fib level at 396.5. All right, so above 393.5, I would be bullish on the SPY, and wherever it opens at, maybe it gaps up above, but wherever it opens at, identify the immediate support and resistance level and watch for the first setup. So above 393.5 is bullish. 395, 396.5 are the next levels, the next resistance levels. Okay. Above that, we have the 50 daily moving average, which is at 399.2-ish to 400 zone. All right, it's at 399.2, but I'm giving it a zone. All right, above 400, if that clears, 41.6 is the next Fibonacci level that I'll be watching, which is the 38.2 fib level. Okay, now I do have this trend line where we got a couple of touches from February 2nd and February 14th. All right. So if it clears that 38.2 fib level, the next level I'll be watching is 404 to 45 zone. But a touch of 407 would be a third touch of this orange trend line that I got here. All right. So the bull case scenario starts or continues if it can clear 393.5. That's a recapture of the 200 daily moving average and the neckline of the head and shoulder pattern. Okay. Now, before you guys kill me saying I sound bullish, remember, I'm going to give you guys the bear case scenario as well. So, like I said, SPY cleared that 61.8 fib level at 391.4. If it fails to hold it as support tomorrow and it drops below it, and during trading hour is doing it right now in the aftermarket, that would be bearish. Okay, that's a false breakout or a false recapture. 390. 388.5 on the next support, and the trend line of the yearly trend line is at 387. Below 387 would be very bearish for the SPY. If 387 fail, I'm going to favor some new lows, okay? However, we're going to take it one level at a time. Below 387, I got 385.5, the 78.6 fib level at 384. Add these levels to your charts, guys, and look to short when a support fail, okay? Below 384, I would be very bearish and favor 382, 380. All right, 380 is the critical support, but based on this context, I believe 380 should fail as if it's tested and give us a lower low, maybe down to 378, 376, and 374.7-ish. Okay, those are the levels that I got. Please add these levels to your charts and, react unbiasedly. All right, QQQ, it managed to recapture that 38.2 fib level. Okay, I got fib level from December low up to February high. I will switch back to bearish below 293. Okay, the first support though is at 294.5 to 295 zone. If that zone fails, that puts 293 in play. Below 293, I would be bearish. 290.7 would be in play with 288.5, 286.7, and I'll favor a test of 282.5-ish, okay? 282.5 is this pink trend line that I got here, starting from October low to November low. We got a test here around December 20th as support. Maybe we get another test. Okay, if it breaks down below 282.5, will be very bearish for triple Q. Okay, we could get more downside. Okay, now as long as above 293 and 294.5, 298 is the next resistance. If 298 clears, we could possibly test 300. 300 is this blue trend line that I got here. We got one test, two tests, and three tests. The fourth test would be at 300. Above 300 would be very bearish, and it needs to clear 301 to trigger more upside. 304, 309, and maybe up to 311 and 313.6s. All right. IWM is lingering around that 61.8 fib level. Okay, I got fib levels from October low to February high. The 61.8 fib level is at 176.5. It closed just above that. All right, so bears need to break that down to trigger more downside. The RSI is pretty oversold, but it can get more oversold. All right, so below 176.5 is 174, 171, 171 to 170.3, with 168 below that. Okay, if IWM wants to get bullish, it needs to stay above 176.5, but defending support's not enough. It needs to clear resistance starting with 178, 179.10ish. Okay, that's his pivot high right here for today. A critical one is at 180.88, 182, and above that is 185 for IWM. Okay, now here is Tesla. Tesla managed. I have the 38.2 fib level at 173.4 for the fib levels from January 2023 low to February high. Now if I zoom out, I have fib level from all-time high down to December 2022 low as well, and the 23.6 fib level is at 175.6. So Tesla managed to recapture that level despite giving us two closes below that last week. Well, actually, it closed below that last week. Yesterday, excuse me. So we had three closes below that, managed to recapture that, and is now testing the 183.7 to 184 resistant level that I have. Okay, so if it wants more upside, Tesla's gonna have to clear 184. Okay, to put 186 and 190.3 in play. Above 190.3 would be pretty bullish. Putting 194 and 199 in play. Okay, let me check the moving average. The 20, yeah, the 20 is at 195. All right, so above 190.3, definitely watch that 194 to 195 level or zone with 199 above that. Okay, now to get bearish, there is support at 178, and of course 175.6 and 173.4. For this to be a dead cat bounce, Tesla needs to break back down some support levels. All right, and cancel this recapture. Apple, now zooming out, I do have fib levels from all-time high down to January 2023 low. Okay, the 50% fib level is at 153.5. Apple today went as high as 153.4. So came with just a few cents of testing it as a resistance. If bulls want more bullishness, they're going to have to clear 153.5 to trigger more upside up to 155, 156.5, and 158. Okay? It'll be bullish. I'll be bullish above 153.5. So there was some selling pressure on it today though. But it needs to clear break down support starting with 151. 151. There is some support at 149. 147.5. I'm looking at some pivot lows here. And the next fib level's at 146.6. That's the 38.2 fib level. If that failed, that would be pretty bearish, in my opinion, with with 145 and 143.5 below. Okay, now let's take a look at some inverses. Here is the VIX. So yesterday the VIX managed to close above the 50% fib level at 25.97. Today it closed back below, and it closed below the 38.2 fib level that was at 23.87. So we got a false breakout setup on the VIX. If VIX want more downside, it's going to have to stay below 23.87 and break down 21.2. All right. DXY is also looking bearish here. It closed back below the 23.6 fib level, which is 104.1. It closed below it on Monday, and today it looks like it's going to close below it today. It actually treated 104.1. It's got very close to testing it as a resistance and rejecting. Okay, now there is support at 103.4. It's pretty much holding right now. So if DXY want to turn this around and get bullish again, it needs to recapture 104.1. All right, to trigger more upside up to 105.2, 106.1, and 106.6. Now, if that support at 103.4 fail, we could possibly see more downside starting with 103 and maybe a nice drop down to 101.5. All right, so definitely watch out for the DXY and for the VIX. All right, option flow here, filter for 500K premiums or above, 65% for puts. Okay, seeing big money betting to the downside, but we do got big money getting some calls here. This is a sweep order over 8,000 in size, 395 strike price for March 17th. Okay, anything else that sticks out to me? Probably go lower maybe. Yup, got a mixture here, some calls. This one's April 16th, 410 strike price. They entered around 391, keep in mind. All right, and this one is a 370 strike price for puts. They also entered around 391. All right, so a mixture, but mostly puts here. 372 strike price for April 21st expiration date. They entered around 390.75. Okay, so yes, still seeing big money betting to the downside mostly, but there are some calls. QQQ 81% in the calls today. Let me look at the. Okay, yeah, it was a pretty bullish day on QQQ today. And look at the option flow is matching it. All right, some big orders, bets to the upside. We'll see if that changes tomorrow. IWM, wow, very bearish. Definitely not like QQQ. Very bearish. Look at these, 170 strike price for April 21st. Very aggressive plays. Okay, we got some block orders. I like to look at more of the sweep, like this sweep order right here, over 7,000 size, 170 strike price, also for April 21st. Okay, Tesla 64% into puts. Big money's betting to the downside, but not seeing anything that sticks out to me. Apple 100% in calls. Yep, seeing a lot of March 24th, March 31st expiration date, 145, 150 strike price. So some in the money calls here. Nothing that's too aggressive. The size are regular. And let's end this with the VIX. And there you go, 65% in the calls. But we are seeing some puts coming in too, all right? So there you guys have it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys find value in this video. If you guys would like more content from Uncle Charles, please consider joining my Discord. Peace.